Hello, and welcome to VentureCat 2025. My name is Izzy Mokotoff, the co-founder of StudyScrib. Some of you may remember me from VentureCat 2024 when I took home second place for StudyScrib, which is advancing ability and independence for people with Parkinson's disease, one pen set at a time.
And I'm Scott Tsangeos, founder and CEO of Olympus, AI-powered sports performance software for every coach, team, and athlete. You may also remember me from when I took home the third place prize at last year's VentureCat. And I'm thrilled to be here today co-emceeing this special event alongside Izzy.
Thanks, same here. VentureCat has been an unforgettable part of our journeys, from the excitement of pitching our ventures to the honor of winning 2 of the 3 final prizes. The experience has been both transformative and deeply rewarding. Since VentureCat 2024, StudyScrib has successfully launched on the direct-to-consumer market, making the product widely accessible to Parkinson's communities seeking a dignified and empowering solution for handwriting with tremors and fine motor challenges. Since then, StudyScrib has expanded its reach to Asia, Oceania, North and South America, Europe, and the Middle East, providing support to users all around the world.
That's awesome. A lot has happened at Olympus since my VentureCat experience as well. Since graduation, we raised a friends and family round led by the University of Michigan's Zell Founders Fund, which enabled us to grow our full-time team to 4 and build partnerships with high schools, colleges, professional teams, gyms, and preventative health clinics across the country. Most excitingly, Olympus will now be supporting U.S. Olympic athletes as they prepare for the 2028 Olympic Games in my hometown of Los Angeles.
Our stories are 2 examples that highlight just how impactful and transformative VentureCat can be for Northwestern's student entrepreneur community.
Well said. Izzy and I are just 2 of the 200-plus student startups that have taken place in VentureCat since it launched in 2014. Over half of these companies are still active today, collectively raising more than $1.5 billion in follow-on funding and creating over 2,600 jobs.
That's certainly something we're celebrating. Yeah, come on. And while we're at it, let's take a moment to recognize this year's 25 incredible semifinalists selected to compete across 5 industry tracks: business products and services, consumer products and services, energy and sustainability, life sciences and medical innovations, and social impact.
The 2025 semifinalists have every reason to be proud. This year brought in a record number of applications, making the selection process 30% more competitive than ever before. Those who advanced to the semifinals truly stood out and embodied the innovation, determination, and entrepreneurial spirit that defines Northwestern.
Let's also acknowledge the invaluable support these semifinalists have received. For the past 4 weeks, 25 teams have been fully immersed in the VentureCat Pitch Prep program.
Yes, the pitches you are about to watch are the result of weeks of dedicated work behind the scenes. Each team has benefited from personalized coaching and guidance from an incredible network of industry experts, seasoned founders, and investors, all focused on helping these entrepreneurs refine their ideas and set themselves up for success. We'd also like to take a moment to thank the team at Precise, Professor Stephen Franconieri, Andrew Daniels, and Evan Van Hendris, for their generous support in preparing this year's semifinalists. Their guidance throughout the pitch deck development process helped our founders craft clear, compelling stories and elevated the quality of the presentations you'll see today. Scan the QR code to learn more about their presentation workshops or to try out Precise, their presentation software used by many of our VentureCats.
100%. The resources and support offered through VentureCat play a key role in helping participants elevate their startups. On behalf of the program, we'd like to sincerely thank all of the volunteers who generously gave their time as application reviewers, pitch coaches, mentors, and judges. Your involvement is what makes VentureCat such a transformative and rewarding experience for Northwestern's student entrepreneurial community.
And last, but certainly not least, we want to take a moment to recognize and thank VentureCat's generous sponsors. Your support not only makes this program possible, but also enables us to offer a prize pool of over $175,000 in non-dilutive funding and $15,000 of in-kind legal resources to support these incredible student ventures.
Yes, a big thank you to Microsoft for Startups, Founders Hub, Exelon, Cooley, and Schneider Electric. In addition to the resources we've already mentioned, all 25 semifinalists have also been given an annual membership to Microsoft for Startups, which offers AI resources for all skill levels, from beginning to expert.
If you're interested in making an individual contribution to support the program, you can do so by scanning the QR code displayed on the screen. Every gift helps ensure future VentureCat participants, like the incredible student founders competing today, continue to benefit from this unique experience.
And with that, let's welcome the next generation of entrepreneurs as they take the stage to share their incredible ventures. Get ready to be inspired.
And just a quick reminder, whether you're here with us in person or tuning in virtually, you'll have the chance to vote for the Audience Favorite Award after all 6 teams have presented. And now, without further ado, first up from the Business Products and Services track is Adrenaline Interactive.
It's a long walk. All right. So thank everyone for being here. My name is Walt, and I am the co-founder and COO of Adrenaline Interactive. What we are and why we exist is an advertising platform to create better ads for gamers, to create a better experience for advertisers. Now, a little bit about me. 15-year advertising veteran, mix of agency and brand side experience. Had the opportunity to work with some cool brands, Nike, North Face, Sargento Cheese, and helped scale Alani Nu from pre-launch to $100 million in revenue. But all this did was, it was fun. But I always, kind of thought back to games, really means a lot to me, gaming. You can see there, that's a picture of me at, 4 years old at Aladdin's Castle in LaPorte, Indiana with my dad, me playing with my brother. And I always thought, advertising, why can't I advertise in games? Like why is that such a bad experience? I'm gonna pause here. Fun fact, I actually worked a paper route to buy my PlayStation 1. I just want to throw that out, that I'm old enough to have had a paper route. So context is important, But going back to this, I kept thinking about, advertising in games. And it's only become more prevalent, especially with the rise of Gen Z and the increase in their buying power and them making decisions as adults. Similar to, how people used to talk about me and being a millennial. And you can see there's been a shift with Gen Z and Gen Alpha when comparing gaming and social media and leisurely time spent. These generations spend more time more of their leisure time gaming than in social media. This is a shift. This isn't like millennials, Gen X, and that's very important as an advertiser. You really want to be where the attention is. And it's a growing market. Only 5% of media dollars, and I can say this as a media buyer, goes to advertising. It's something that is shifting though. I get calls here, almost every day now, like we need to shift from this display ad campaign over to being in Fortnite. And the shift is going to happen, which represents a really interesting market opportunity. And, you've heard me say, okay, there's an opportunity, but you also heard me say it's a really bad experience. And it is. It is, at best, if you are in an in-game ad, slow, expensive, which creates a lot of risk for the brand. And then that's the best case example. The worst case example is an interstitial ad or a pop-up that ruins the gaming experience. That's not good for gamers. We don't like that. We're against that. So we want to create the future of gaming. We want to be fast, smart, and scalable. And we're drawing off of the lessons of my programmatic advertising career where, working with Nike, we would do really cool CTV campaigns at scale, be in the World Cup. We want to do that. So what we did was we built a self-contained ecosystem. We built what's called a DSP, demand-side platform, where people can advertise in games self-serve, similar to Google ads or Facebook ads, Snapchat ads. If anyone has had a small business and is, need to run some Google search ads, very similar, but for mobile games. And we're able to do that because we have, a provisional patent on something really cool. If you look at the spaceship there, we leverage textures within games to reskin them. And we leverage generative AI to do that. So you can see that becomes cheese, for a Sargento cheese example. If you're Ritz and you want to be a cracker, you could do that. If it's applicable and it's a race car, a racetrack, you could do that. This allows you to do a lot of scale in mobile. But we're not just concentrated in mobile. We're really looking at premium inventory, Fortnite, Roblox, things like that, talking to 2K Sports. So before we get into some other really cool things, looking at our business model, for every dollar that comes in, 30% of that comes to us, so 30 cents. And that's kind of what comes to us. 70% goes to the publisher, so that's kind of our model. There's no setup fees, no licensing. This becomes recurring usage basis, usage, there we go. And what we've seen is a lot of validated demand. Strategic progress, we've had a lot of this. We have $100,000 in media spend so far. That's really in the last 2 months. We've been around for 9 months. Walmart is leveraging our QA tool for making sure their assets are on brand. We're releasing a campaign with Dr. Squatch in the next few days in Fortnite with Sydney Sweeney, the actress. We have partnerships and LOIs with Cognitive and AI DSP, exploring ways where we can really leverage their deep learning algorithms. We have received non-diluted funding from the state of Michigan and from Google. We have a sales pipeline that is aggressively growing. Meetings with Hershey's, WPP Media, to work with brands like Dell and NBC Universal. But we've also raised $1.7 million by participating in Antler's pre-seed accelerator. And then, most importantly, we have access to 50 million daily active users in that premium inventory in Roblox, Fortnite, and Discord. In fact, in that, we have created first of its kind clickable to ad formats in Fortnite to where CPG brands can allow people to buy their products within a Fortnite game. Never been done. So, our founder team. You've heard a little bit about me and how gaming is incredibly important to me. It's incredibly important to my co-founders too, Max and Bryce. Max was the captain of the University of Michigan's esports team. He's a Big Ten champion right there. And he created 2 of the top 100 most downloaded iOS games. Bryce was a professional esports athlete in middle school for Team Liquid. And in high school, he was a coder and winner of competitions for Lockheed Martin. So this is something that we have the skill set to do and we have the passion to do. And so I want to show an example of what one of these ads looked like in Fortnite. This is All Day. It's a caffeine spray, and that's Fortnite. So that is actually a skin that we could reskin. So think like it's Coke, it's Gatorade, something like that. This is an asset that we can actively leverage over and over and over again at scale. Just kind of shows you the AAA. It's not just mobile games. It's really thinking about, the best of the best. And so with that, I'm Walt. Thank you everyone for being here. It's amazing to be a part of the Kellogg community. I see a few members of my EMBA cohort 140, so thank you for attending, 140. And if anyone has any questions after, happy to answer them, but thank you all very much.
Next up, from the Consumer Products and Services track is InstaEnglish.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, everyone. We are InstaEnglish. We help English learners become fluent in just 10 months. In the next decade, we will empower 2 billion non-native speakers globally with fluent English. And we are on track to make it a reality. Since we launched the app last year, we have grown to serve 1,500 paying subscribers. It's a $10 monthly subscription business, and we are currently generating $160,000 in ARR with a 30% month-over-month growth rate. We are running profitably with an LTV CAC ratio of 5.3. The app is now ranked among the top 10 English learning apps on App Store in Japan. The question is, why is InstaEnglish thriving in the crowded language learning market? To answer this question, let me touch upon my personal story. I was born and raised in Japan. Back in high school, I ranked 16th nationally in an English exam across all of Japan. But I could barely speak English because Japan's English education focuses on just reading. So I asked for advice, and everyone said, just speak, speak and speak. Speak to speak. Okay, I spent 2,000 hours of practice speaking on a platform. And feeling confident, I came to the US here. But once I arrived in the US, I faced a harsh reality. I couldn't even hold simple conversations with my friends. My confidence crumbled, feeling frustration, isolation, and loneliness. After 6 years, I finally learned simply having more conversations doesn't always lead to fluency. Today, LLMs are replacing human conversational partners. Think ChatGPT, Duolingo, and Speak. But their core direction misses a critical point. Simply having more conversations won't take you to fluency. These apps brag about their users' long engagement, and which is a successful business for sure. But it's a failure for customers who gotta become fluent now. I believe with intentional focus, you can become fluent in just a month. To make this happen, we bring language science into our apps with the support of the expert advisors right here at Northwestern University. Before diving into the app details, please let me explain how our brain works when speaking. First, you conceptualize what you want to express, which is like a picture in your brain. Next, you formulate a sentence following the rules of the language. Finally, you articulate the sentence with proper pronunciation. Flowers are blooming. Only the last two steps rely on your English knowledge, meaning to boost your speaking fluency, you must work on formulation and articulation. However, in conversation, you're listening for 50% of the time, yet formulation and articulation only account for 20% of the time. InstaEnglish removes all the cognitive load of listening and conceptualization, and you can spend 100% of your time on formulation and articulation. This is why we can achieve 5 times faster improvement in your speaking skills. This is how it works. First, the app presents a concept in your native language. Say, can you cut this in half? A short sentence in your native language is instantly understood. Low cognitive load, no time wasted deciding what to say next. Then you formulate a sentence that corresponds to the concept. For example, you answer, can you cut half? The app provides feedback. Well, this is grammatically incorrect because blah, blah, blah. You should say, can you cut this in half instead? So in this way, you can get instant customized feedback on your English. Finally, you get your pronunciation accuracy score and identify exactly which phonemes were mispronounced. You repeat this 30-second lesson until you master 2,000 words that cover 90% of daily conversations. The industry average shows out of every 100 downloads, 3 start a 7-day free trial, 1.2 convert to paid subscriber. Less than 1 remain active after a month. InstaEnglish is different. Out of every 100 downloads, 7 initiate a 7-day free trial. 5.6 convert to paid subscriber. And 4.8 remain active even after a month. That means we have a 7 times higher conversion rate. We started from Japan, which ranks the lowest globally in speaking scores. And in the coming 2 years, we are expanding into other Asian countries where people similarly struggle with speaking English. Within the first month of launching the Korean version, we've already seen promising engagement in this market as well. So starting from 2027, we plan to add Spanish and French to capture the $2 billion global market. Finally, I'd like to introduce the team. I'm Yutaro, the computer geek and the founder of InstaEnglish. I have built and sold gaming PCs for $5 million. I have developed a popular open source CPU emulator and authored a best-selling computer architecture book. Born and incubated at Northwestern University, InstaEnglish is a 100% student-owned venture. Our team, fluent in 7 languages natively, has developed a unique method backed by the expert advisors right here at Northwestern University. Currently, we serve 1,500 paying subscribers in Japan and South Korea. With the VentureCat prize, we can localize our app in Thai and Taiwanese to serve 4,500 paying subscribers in total. I want our customers to stop wasting 6 years talking to apps as I did. Please join us to empower 2 billion non-native speakers globally to explore the world more confidently. Thank you.
Next up, from the energy and sustainability track, is Sensify.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'm Shane with Sensify. What I love to do is to talk trash. So our goal at Sensify is to help businesses understand and improve the effectiveness of their recycling practices with intelligent sensing technology and machine learning. We got a huge problem in recycling. More than 70% of recyclables go to landfill every year, largely due to contamination. Let me give you an example. Whenever you toss out something like a greasy pizza box into the wrong bin on campus, Northwestern University is paying big money for that contamination. Even one wrong item can cause the entire batch of recyclables to be sent to landfill. Actually, sending waste to landfill costs businesses 3 times more than recycling. Let's just imagine that at scale. So why are we tossing out so many recyclables? Well, recycling is complex. The rules about what can and cannot be recycled vary from place to place. So what can be recycled here in Chicago might not be recyclable elsewhere. So we set out to understand how high-traffic businesses that produce waste at scale tackle the challenge of improving their recycling. We learned quite a lot from our time in the NSF I-Corps program, where we spoke with universities, airports, convention centers, and local governments to understand their current waste practices and their challenges. The leaders in those spaces told us that their priorities were compliance with waste regulation and meeting their waste goals. And we have identified 2 pain points. The first one was recycling engagement, and the second one was getting good and reliable waste data. So what are businesses doing now to tackle those 2 pain points? Well, a lot of businesses still use posters and signage to engage their users. But even with the best signage, we still toss the wrong item in the wrong bin. And on the other hand, to get good and reliable data, businesses go dumpster diving, or as the professionals call, waste audit. So waste audit teams are literally digging through trash cans by hand to get a snapshot of the waste composition and user behavior. What you see on the screen is what a typical waste audit looks like. Super gross, right? And very inefficient, and can be expensive. One airport that we spoke with told us that they just spent 6 figures on a 2-week waste audit. Even with that, they still didn't have the daily data they needed to make any sort of operational improvement. So without real-time data, they're just flying blind. This is where we come in. So let me introduce Higgy. Higgy is a low-cost, AI-driven device that can deliver real-time data at the collection point. Higgy is truly a plug-and-play solution that can be attached to any existing waste stations without disrupting their current flow. So whenever you want to toss out a piece of trash, Higgy takes a picture. Our model classifies the waste, where it goes, and generate data analytics for our customers. As a user, you'll also be able to interact with Higi to get real-time feedback about the waste at the collection point. Simply put, Higi can see what goes in and what goes wrong. We also have a beautiful Higi dashboard that connects our customers to their waste data so they can make real-time decisions about their waste practices. In short, Higi can really help our customers reduce waste, lower their cost, and meet their goals. So we operate on a SaaS subscription model where our customers pay up to $200 per unit per month, which makes the adoption really easy and scalable. Dynamic pricing also allows us to be able to grow with our customers and maintain the gross margin between 60 and 70%. We recognize that we're not the only player in the space of recycling. And that is a fabulous thing because we have learned quite a lot from our competitors. So our competitors have built really, really powerful solutions. As you can see on the screen, those are extremely capable machines. But the problem is they're very expensive and bulky, which makes them hard to scale. And a lot of times, they just end up creating more work for the facility teams. We have seen our competitors charge up to $7,000 per unit. This is even before any maintenance and subscription fees. We can deliver the same intelligence and the same result for a fraction of the cost, less than 10% of what they're charging. Smart waste is also a humongous market, primarily driven by AI and IoT. So we're starting smart with tier 2 US airports first, because they generate over 5 million tons of waste every year, but only manage to divert 35% of it. And they spend over $165 million on smart waste infrastructure. We really love them because they prioritize innovation and sustainability, which makes them the perfect early adopters for our technology. We're very thrilled to start our early pilots with Northwestern University, Carnegie Mellon University, and Pittsburgh International Airport. Our pilot pipeline is growing rapidly, primarily fueled by the connections from NSF I-Corps program. So the VentureCat funding would really help us to build more units, refine our learning model, cover overhead costs, and hire new talents to bring this vision to life. We have a very robust leadership team. So Rishi and I are technical co-founders with background in robotics. We have Crystal, our CEO. She's a 2-time founder with a successful exit. Then we have Rory, who specializes in machine learning and artificial intelligence. Tammy is our seasoned CFO. And we're very excited to bring our expertise and energy to the intersection of sustainability and deep tech. Thank you for taking time to talk trash with us.
Next up, from the life sciences and medical track is Pilbo.
This is my grandfather. In 2018, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. I remember sleeping in the bedroom of the man who once held our family together, just to make sure he took his meds on time. I remember evenings divided into shifts, each one of us watching him while he tried to rest. No matter how hard we tried, it always felt like a guessing game. Guessing if he was okay, guessing if his pills were working, guessing if what we were doing was right, or even enough, because it felt like we had to be perfect just to make sure that he's stable. When he passed a year later, I realized something. Perfect was never enough. What hurt most was that there wasn't a real solution. The doctors were just as lost as we were. They didn't have data, only our exhausted, fragmented observations. Parkinson's didn't take him alone. My grandpa fell through the cracks of a system that only works when someone's always watching, a system that demands perfection and does not forgive mistakes. And stories like his, they're everywhere.
We tend to think that more meds means more healing, but half a dose doesn't mean half the benefit. It often means no benefit at all. And unless patients are taking 95% of their medications or more, medications simply don't work the way they're supposed to. So yes, non-adherence does look like a missed dose, but what it turns into is missed outcomes, missed stability, missed time with the people you love. We've talked to 50 patients, caregivers, and clinicians, and the numbers are clear. 75% of Americans don't take their medications as prescribed. Over 100,000 people die a year, and the cost, over $300 billion. Over $300 billion. This isn't just an adherence issue, it's an agency issue. People don't want to manage their pills. They want confidence and peace of mind. And what does the current system give us? Reminders, alarms, pill boxes. Reminders don't monitor. Alarms don't analyze. Pill boxes don't understand you.
That's why we built Pilbo. My name is Snehdish Pandey, and this is my co-founder, Johan Sun. This isn't a complicated disease problem. It's a solvable system issue. 5 years ago, a solution like ours wouldn't be possible. But with growth in AI, we can deliver 24/7 care that's affordable, intelligent, and scalable. Let us show you how.
Pilbo starts with a smart pill dispenser which sorts, stores, and analyzes each dose. No more missed doses, no more missed outcomes. We pair with health sensors which track vitals such as blood pressure and heart rate, with integrations underway for Apple Health, Whoop, and more. All this data goes straight to the core of our system, Pilbo AI.
Think of Pilbo's AI as a nurse over your loved one's shoulder. It learns, adapts, and continuously monitors for patterns in health metrics and medication adherence. So when something's off, we know exactly who to notify, whether it's real-time alerts to patients and their families, or to providers with our connected clinician platform. This isn't just a pill dispenser, it's a full-circle solution. Patients and families have more peace of mind, doctors and nurses can stay in the loop and intervene early, not late. It's smart, it's consistent, and it's available 24/7 at the fraction of the cost of traditional healthcare.
And we're the team to make it happen. Across companies such as the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab and the ITW Medicine, we have strong experience in healthcare, in software, and in hardware. And on our team is Professor Ilya Mikkelsen, an ECE professor and former founder of a smart pill bottle startup. We have built in this space before. We know what the challenges are, and we know how to fix them. And we want to compare ourselves to the other players in this space, Hero, MedMinder, Medicube. What they do just stops at pill dispensing. No health insights, no smart feedback. And you might be saying, well, a caregiver can do this too, but caregivers are inconsistent and they're expensive. And they can't be there for you 24/7. Pilbo can. We do what a $300 a day home health nurse does in a way that's scalable and driven by data. Our competitors are building smart pill boxes. We're building smart caregivers.
And the need for that caregiver, it's enormous. The global prescription drug market is $800 billion. In the US alone, 30 million adults take 3 or more meds a day. But we're not starting there. We're starting with the 0.0005% of the market that we can win today and dominate in the next 6 months. That's 4.13 million in senior living centers across Illinois. Why senior living? Every resident takes meds. Families are anxious and caregivers are stretched thin. And the infrastructure is built for fast deployment. We've already begun pilot discussions, and with patients' families as champions, we expect fast traction. From there, it's just a matter of replicating this model and scaling across Illinois and other states in the country. Then, we go to contract research organizations, where we validate Pilbo in clinical drug trials. That opens the door to hospitals and pharma companies, where non-adherence costs billions, and a solution like Pilbo can shift outcomes. Pilbo becomes a companion for every chronic prescription, not just another product, but a new standard of care.
Our revenue model is simple. Pilbo costs $350, and for $5 a month, you can unlock our AI features. We expect strong adoption of our AI features based on initial customer interviews, but we will validate that in market. Pilbo costs just $60 to make at scale, which gives us great margins. And if our beachhead goes correctly, we expect over 100% compound annual growth rate for the first 4 years. This is driven by recurring revenue and a strong need and a playbook that we can scale across the nation. Compared to a $300 a day nurse, we're not just more scalable, we're dramatically more cost effective.
We've already self-funded MVP development and customer outreach. With the $100,000 VentureCat prize, we'll be able to start A/B testing and ramp up manufacturing so that we can deliver the product to people in senior living centers. This will help us see what works, what we need to refine, and learn how to scale. Over the summer, we'll go full time, testing, fundraising, and launching with our earliest pilot partners. This isn't just about pills. It's about freedom. So that the next time you call your family member, the first thing you talk about isn't that what pill you took last night. With Pilbo, no one has to guess anymore, unlike my family did with my grandfather. Pilbo isn't just a smart pill dispenser. It's peace of mind delivered. Thank you.
And next up, from the social impact track, is Swarm.
Hi, everyone. Ooh. I'm Allie, and I'm the founder of Swarm. I'm a senior about to graduate, but before Northwestern, I built and managed a viral clothing brand. With just $12, we reached $100,000 in revenue, amassed hundreds of millions of views, and got press in major publications like Vox, The Today Show, and O Magazine. But now, I'm making bug spray. The idea first came to me when I was abroad in Southeast Asia. I love to hike, and so my friends and I went to the most rural place you could imagine in Indonesia to hike a volcano. But a few days later, my friend got dengue fever and had to spend 2 days in the hospital. This experience showed me that even healthy 20-year-olds are extremely vulnerable to insect-borne diseases. But it's actually not that surprising because mosquitoes are the world's deadliest organism, causing 700,000 deaths a year. And the CDC reports that these illnesses are only increasing, where the US is increasing by 300% this year, and Lyme disease alone affects 500,000 Americans annually. If you look on your phone right now and Google insect-borne diseases in the US, you'll find hundreds of articles warning the public about this looming threat. And experts say that bug repellent is the most practical solution because it effectively reduces the risk. There's 66% reduction of Lyme disease, a 90% reduction of insect bites, and a 95% of people report a safer, more enjoyable outdoor experiences, but 60% of people don't use it. And why is that? Well, because bug spray sucks. Behavioral researchers report that people don't like the smell because it lingers for hours. People don't like the feel because it feels sticky and oily and greasy, so you have to shower after. And people view it as toxic and carcinogenic. But despite all of that, the global market is valued at $5.7 billion and the US market at $1.2 billion with a 7% annual growth. So I got my hands on every bug repellent you could imagine. And while we found that some felt okay and some were ineffective, there was a clear white space in the market. There wasn't a single product that was both pleasant to use and contained an active certified ingredient. And that's why we created Swarm, a safe and effective repellent that feels like skincare. We worked with 50 different test users, and 4 iterations later, we have a really great formula that's effective for up to 14 hours. It smells great with essential oils, and it's lightweight and moisturizing, so it feels like a lotion. Our formula features a non-toxic, clean, active ingredient called picaridin. It's derived from a pepper plant, so it's odorless to humans, but mosquitoes can smell it, and they don't like it. And it's known to outperform DEET, giving 14 hours of protection from mosquitoes and ticks. And you might ask, why doesn't everyone use picaridin? But because it's relatively new and there's one supplier that owns it, but we're working together to create a new formula that feels really nice on the skin. And they're giving us access to their data, guidance on EPA certification, while we can maintain all of the IP. So our product is proprietary, legally protected, and on track for EPA certification. And we're packaging it up in this 100 milliliter portable tube because packaging is really important for people like me. And research shows that it's essential in purchase behavior. Our custom cap and our distinctive branding shows that it's not just another commodity good, because the most effective repellent is one that people actually buy and apply. And so we're drawing from a playbook that actually works, like Supergoop sunscreen, and we're focusing on providing educational support to raise awareness while giving free access to repellent to develop these healthy habits in kids really early on. And our vision is to install one public dispenser for every 1,000 units sold, which can service up to 50,000 people a dispenser. And so we're starting with summer camps because it's something I'm very familiar with, having spent 10 years there. And it's a great place because it's where kids are without their parents, so we can educate them and they can learn about the risks of insect-borne diseases in the highest risk scenarios. We're going to come with the education and the samples, and we're focusing on 100 summer camps in the Northeast because they have the highest cases of Lyme disease, and they've been on curfew because of triple E outbreaks in the past. And so you might ask us, how are you going to sell this thing? Well, that's where we're going to use our marketing experience, because pre-launch and before we even started any of our social media marketing campaigns, we've already got featured in the Beauty Independent, which is kind of the feature of CPG goods. And we're already talking to gearhead outfitters and YMCA camps about early adoption, because just a 7% capture is $10 million in sales. And we've just been invited to the REI Ventures Accelerator program. And we've been really fortunate enough to have secured $200,000 of verbal commitments from angel investments from the Northwestern community. But the thing is, we can't access that money until we submit our EPA certification. So that's why VentureCat is so important to us. We're so close, and with the commitments plus the winnings, we'll have everything we need to get to market. And I'm not alone. I have a team of some serious industry experience backing me up, including my lead formulator, David, who has 30+ years of experience and has brought hundreds of products that are EPA and FDA approved to market. He's teaming up with his friend, Kelly, who sits on the board for Design for the Environment, which is the branch of the EPA, which will help us through the certification. And I also have an amazing team of advisors, some of which are CPG founders, ranging from ones raising their Series A round to those who have already had successful exits. So we have help for every step along the way. And with that, I'm super excited and confident to go full-time next year. So thank you, and join us in helping protect the world from insect-borne diseases.
Next up, our wild card from the B2C track is nLab.
All right. Hey everyone, my name is Angie. I'm the CEO of nLab, where we're sparking a revolution and changing the way people learn electrical engineering forever. When I was a kid, I knew I wanted to work in robotics, but not just any robots. I wanted to work on the one I saw on theme park rides. To me, anything electric felt like magic. So, by the time I got to college, I was super excited to take my first electronics class, until I entered the lab, and I was shocked. Not by electricity, but by these monstrosities, giant, scary, outdated machines shared by dozens of students. Now, I was really good at math, so I got an A+ in circuits, but I never built a single one. I graduated with the grades, but without skills. Without confidence. Actually, can we zoom in on those machines real quick? Yeah, gross, right? This is the sad reality facing so many engineers right now. A broken learning system with tools and textbooks that haven't changed in decades. No wonder students are feeling stuck. And the consequences are real. Even though the electronics market is booming, growing by $300 billion in the next few years, electrical engineering is down 90%, leading to a global shortage. Right now in the US, 75% of employers can't find anyone to hire. Why is this important? Well, while everyone's talking about AI and automation, we're forgetting the one thing that makes it all work, which is electricity. Circuits are the invisible foundation of our tangible world. If you care about innovation, you care about electrical engineering. And yet, for how much the future relies on it, it's caught in the past. Look how far we've come with the telephone in the last 60 years. And yet the most we could think to do with these guys is add a handle for portability. Which begs the question, why has tech evolved so much, but the tech we use to build our tech hasn't changed a bit? Well, we're here to change that. Let's give this lab a makeover. First, let's combine these machines into one. And now, let's make it tiny, pocket-sized. And finally, let's make it affordable so that everyone can have one. And here we have it. Introducing nLab, the world's smallest electronics lab. Thousands of dollars of equipment shrunk to the size of a credit card. How is this possible? Well, it turns out your computer has most of the capability to be an electronics lab. It just needs the nLab and the nLab app to complete the equation. It's that simple. Okay, switcheroo. Here we go. How did we come up with this idea? Two Northwestern teachers, frustrated watching their students struggle, spent 10 years developing what would become nLab. They tested it out on students who loved it. They could learn at their own pace and even take it home with them. And one of those master students was me. The nLab changed my life. I'll tell you why later. I'll just say this. For the first time in my life, I felt like a real engineer. I believed in it so much that I started working with Nick and David in my free time. And something unexpected happened. We couldn't keep up with demand. Universities started reaching out to us asking how they could get 50 units at a time. We sold 4,000 nLabs through word of mouth and earned $500,000 in revenue with zero ad spend, zero CAC. Professors asked us to add a circuits kit and video tutorials to make their lives easier. So we did. As for students, they had one request. Could you make it less boring? Ouch. So we did. We added to the kit destination projects. Students assemble our components like Legos and build cool things like microphone and a heartbeat monitor and a video game, all while learning the real theory underneath. And we didn't stop there. We completely revamped our videos to be more like YouTube, not school. Fun, fast, full of humor and storytelling. And we wanted to do it right, so we brought in a YouTube expert who just launched our brand new channel for us 2 days ago. But before that, we were testing our videos, and we got this comment. Thanks for showing my little girl that electronics is for everyone. Whew. So, after I finished crying, I realized that we had accidentally created a product that was for everyone, an all-inclusive, accessible platform for anyone who wants to learn hands-on engineering independently. So with that, we're launching phase 2 of nLab, taking it beyond the classroom into B2C. Why? Well, because it's a bigger market, much bigger. And we're already being pulled in this direction. 3 groups in particular are reaching out. The first is the next generation of innovators, teens who are serious about pursuing tech. The next is career pivoters, adults looking to reskill in order to move up the ladder. Finally, we're going to bring in tinkerers, nerds like me who are exploring electronics for fun. We stand out by offering a beginner-friendly, hands-on learning that equips you with real engineering skills that you can take with you immediately into the real world. And the timing couldn't be better. With the advent of AI, software engineering jobs and computer science jobs aren't the safe bet anymore. What are these jobs? Oop. Go on. Oh, one at a time, okay. I can do that. Cool. Electronics, everybody. And nLab's learners are going to fill the funnel. We are ready to change the world and change lives with this product. But can it really change lives? Yes, it can. The nLab propelled me into an amazing career, including my dream job, working on the robots at Disney. And now I'm here to pay it forward. I'm getting my MBA and going at this full time in order to bring this amazing product to more people. But we need your help to get there. With $100K from VentureCat, we would first hire a marketing strategist to keep our CAC as close to zero as possible. Next up, we would invest in the development of add-on kits for retention and recurring revenue purposes. Finally, we're going to spend the rest on reducing our costs in order to increase our revenue 4 times over 7 quarters. And we also want to reduce our price because nLab is not just a product, it's a mission to ensure that anyone, anywhere can learn electronics. The truth is, electricity is magic. It powers our world, our dreams, and our future. But it's not out of reach. With nLab, anyone can learn to harness it. The magic is real, and now it's yours. So who's ready to join us as we make this world a little bit brighter, one circuit at a time? Thank you.
Incredible work by our 6 VentureCat 2025 finalists. And now it's your turn to decide who takes home the $5,000 Audience Favorite Award. To cast your vote, scan the QR code on the screen behind me or head to vote.venturecat.nu. We'll give you a couple minutes to make your pick, but remember, you can only vote once. They're incredible. They're incredible. Are you doing the audience favor or am I doing the audience favor? Wait, go the other way. Go the other. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. This is third place.
All right. The votes have been tallied and the results are in. Audience favorite taking home $5,000 is nLab. Congrats.
And now we're ready to announce the grand prizes. Coming in third place and winning $25,000 is also nLab. Congratulations.
In second place, winning $50,000 is InstaEnglish.
And finally, the VentureCat 2025 grand prize winner taking home $100,000 is Swarm. Congratulations.
A huge congratulations to all the participants of VentureCat 2025. We're incredibly proud of your hard work, creativity, and determination, and we can't wait to see all of the amazing things you guys will accomplish in the future.
Thank you all so much for being here with us today.